record and we're gonna get started. All right. So for today's class, we're actually gonna go ahead and start in a standing position. So everyone go ahead, come on up, find a place that is in good view of the computer and of yourself. Take your feet and let's take them to about shoulder width or hip width distance. From here, give me a nice big inhale. Bring the shoulders up to the ears and then exhale the shoulders back and down. Let's do this one more time. Inhale the shoulders up and exhale. Bring them down and allow the hands to rotate out so that they are facing forward. From here, I invite you to close your eyes if that feels good, or take a heavy, soft gaze, potentially down to where the floor meets the wall. Give me a slight bend in the knees, a little bit of engagement of the core just to keep the hips stacked over top of the knees. And then with those shoulder rolls, the chest became a bit more open, the shoulders stacked over top of the hips. Keeping the head back, allowing the spine to stay strong and long. Begin to tap into your breath. With each inhale, feel the chest rise, feel the belly grow. With each exhale, feel the sensation of the air leaving the body. Continue the breath just naturally, and while we're doing this, let's begin to shift our body weight from side to side. So shift the weight onto the right foot and then very slowly shift it onto the left. Feeling our bodies slowly move in motion. Keeping the body nice and long as we move around. Go ahead, take this forward and back. So bringing the weight to the balls of the feet. Leaning back onto the heels. Doesn't have to be a huge range of motion. We don't want to fall or topple over. So just nice and subtle, feel it out. And then bring this motion to a close. On your next inhale, let's shoot the arms out to the side, up and over top of the head. Reach as long as you can. Exhale, turn the palms, face them down, press all the way back down towards the side of the body. One more time. Inhale the arms, lift the palms, stretch out and then up. Staying here on your exhale, tuck the chin down to the chest, release the arms down to the side, and then one vertebrae at a time, begin to roll down into a nice forward fold. Take it slow, start to bend the knees, feel the articulation of the spine. Go to your end range of motion, once again, bending the knees. Hang here for just a moment. Arms can hang heavy. You can grasp elbows into the palms and allow the shoulders to feel a bit heavier. Take one more big inhale through the back. Exhale, deepen down. Let the hands free fall right here. And then press into the heels, straighten the legs. Remain heavy through the arms and the head. Begin to straighten up one vertebrae at a time. Take it nice and slow. The hands will follow all the way up overhead. Take a nice big inhale, reaching all the way up. Exhale, grab onto one wrist. Lean over to the side, pulling that arm over top of the head. Inhale to rise, grab the other wrist, lean over, pulling that arm over top. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, let's articulate from the spine. Chin comes to chest, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Here's a little bit more of the side angle. When you come down, bending the knees generously to allow yourself some ease through the knees, ease through the back. Maybe moving the head up and down or side to side. Hands can again come into the elbows, or if you'd like to, come behind the legs, resting down just below the knees. Big deep breath, send the breath into the back and through the neck. Exhale, feel yourself melt heavier. One more breath here. Press into the heels, start to straighten the legs. Lift a little bit slower this time. Feel the hamstrings engage. Feel each vertebrae stack on top of the next. Head is last to rise. Hands come all the way up overhead once we reach there. This time dropping the left hand and reaching over to the left side. Press the right foot into the ground. Press the left hand down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, right arm comes down. Come over to the right. Press through the left foot to lengthen. Press through the right hand. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, bringing the hands back behind the body, intertwining the fingers and opening up through the chest. Big inhale through the chest. Exhale, squeeze the triceps closer together or even take the arms back further. From here, go ahead and softly round through the spine and just sway from side to side, loosening up the spine a little bit more in a nice twisting position. Feel yourself in space, just like we had at the beginning of practice with our weight distribution. Yeah, bring this motion to a close. From here, we're going to take it into a nice gentle warrior one. So right foot is going to come to the top of the mat. Left foot is going to come back. And you're going to be standing on train tracks. So you're just letting the legs kind of come out naturally rather than keeping them on a straight line. From here, taking your hands to your hips, turning the hips forward so that they can be squared off in front. Inhale the arms all the way up. Now this stance doesn't have to be very long. If you feel more accessible back here, stay just a little bit lesser range from each foot. Press the back edge of the left foot into the mat, lift up through the chest. Feeling a nice little hip stretch here. And then let's open up to warrior two. So warrior two, you might have to wiggle that back leg farther out. Now the toes are at a nice 3 o'clock position. This front knee is still over top of the ankle. When you look down, you can see your big toe. Reach out nice and long. Feel tall through the crown of the head. From here, the left hand is going to windmill all the way down. Bend the knees as much as you need to. And then walk in across the mat over to the other side. Right arm windmills in a nice big circle all the way up. So we're on warrior two, the other side. We're going to repeat this for a few rounds, taking it at your own pace. Inhale the arms up. Nice big slow circle. Reach it forward. Exhale, walk, moving the feet. Warrior two to the other side. Left hand is going to rise all the way up. Take a moment to pause, feel sensation through the hips, and then when you're ready, left hand reaches forward and down. Feel free to hang in this forward fold if that feels good for you. If you're feeling like your hips or hamstrings are a bit sticky in one part of this, just hold it, feel it out. We'll take one more round. So taking it over to the right and then back over to the left. Loosening up the hips, the low back, hamstrings. Taking nice, big, intentional breaths to match in a way that feels good for you. Over on our left side for our last warrior two. Take a small pause here. Press the back edge of the foot down. Press the feet into the mat. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And then bringing the hands down, pop the foot up for one tiny step. We'll take it back to warrior one on the other side. Hips squared off to the front. Back edge of the foot on the mat. Inhale up. So bending into the left leg. Getting a nice deep hip stretch. Few breaths, relax into this. Good. From here, let's take our hands down to the mat and we'll step back Knees come down to the mat. Let's bring our knees wide. Untuck the toes, rest back into a child's pose. Take a moment here in silence and in stillness. Feel the belly bowl between the legs, relaxing through the shoulders, back, and also the face. Letting go of any expectations that you have for yourself during this practice and any expectations that you have for yourself for the rest of the day. Life can be very unpredictable and out of our control as we are living currently. Shifting the hips back up, weight comes up onto the hands, tuck the toes under, shoot the hips back into a downward facing dog. Spreading all 10 fingers, pressing out of the shoulders, slight bend in the knees as we press the hips to the sky. Feel free to walk your dog, so take a nice bend in one knee, lengthen out the other, and switching when you feel ready. Doing this just a few times. If it feels good to hold it, hold it. If you like to just move dynamically, just keep walking. Coming back just into stillness. Coming up onto our tippy toes and then reach it back down, getting a little bit more of a calf stretch. From here, lift the back leg up, right leg, finding a bit more of a deeper stretch through the left leg, keeping the hips squared off. Shift the weight forward, right leg is going to tuck in, right leg is going to plant down on the mat. Untuck that back toe, inhale all the way up. From here, pelvis comes under and tucked. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the right arm down to the thigh and then reach up and over to the right. So we're isolating our hip flexors here. Definitely don't need to add in the side bend if you're feeling it in this 90-90, so 90 degrees in both knee joints. Bringing the hands down, shifting the weight forward. You might need to lift that back leg and move the knee back. From here, hands are going to come to the inside of the foot. And you're going to wiggle your foot heel toe, walk it to the outside of your mat, or just a little bit if you're not using a mat, just a couple inches to the right. You're going to let that knee drop from a position of the foot flush to the ground, and you're going to let the knee drop to the right so that you're on the outside edge of the right foot. From here, you can keep it, or if you'd like to add in a twist, plant the left hand down in the center of the mat. Take the right hand to the thigh, twist open through the chest and shoulders. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Melt that left hip into the mat. Very slowly untwist. Walk the foot back in. Shoot that leg behind. Tuck the toes back into a downward facing dog. Come up onto the tips of the toes. Sink back down. Inhale the left leg up. Press the right heel down to lengthen through the back of the leg. Very slowly shift the weight forward onto the hands. Left leg comes in between. Coming all the way up into 90-90. Untuck the back toes. Pelvis becomes tucked under, isolating the right hip flexor. Arms come all the way up. Left arm comes down to the thigh. Right arm reaches up or up and over to the left to isolate the hip flexor just a bit more. Breathing into the side body, into the hip. Arm comes down, shift the weight forward. Maybe wiggle that knee back a little bit. Let the hands come to the inside of the feet. Walk that left leg out just a bit. And you can stay here. You can let the knee drop open and be on the outside edge of the left foot. Option also, plant that right hand down. Twist towards that inner thigh. Let that right hip melt down to the ground. Find a twist through the spine. Few more big deep breaths here, relaxing through the shoulders. Allow the right hip to release the tension. Coming back to the mat, walking the foot in, shifting the hips back. And this time, knees can be wide, or you can bring them closed to release the low back a little bit more. Wide will give you a bit more hip. Sit back into child's pose. Feeling heavy through the head, through the back, and the hips. Shifting the weight all the way back up. We're going to stay here in quadruped, so hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Starting with left hand planted down, taking the knees just a little bit wider than the hips, and it'll feel good. Inhale the right arm up overhead, opening the chest, twisting the spine. Exhale, reaching down, threading the needle all the way through. We're going to open the chest one more time. Pressing into the left hand, lengthening the left arm, allowing the right arm to come back out. Inhale, open up the chest. And exhale, thread the needle all the way through. Landing on the right deltoid. Once you have found a nice comfortable spot to land, your left hand can stay by the face. It can reach up overhead, or you can take the left hand up and back behind to keep the chest open. We'll stay here for a few moments, a time where you can just settle into it, breathe into it, and find a sense of release. So take moments here to really observe and journey through how your shoulders are feeling. With each inhale, bring it into that right shoulder. With each exhale, feel it become a bit more heavy. Take one more big inhale through the shoulder. Place the left hand back just next to the face. Spread the fingers wide, lengthen the arm. Let that right arm drag out. Open back up for a counter twist. And exhale, let's do the other side. Here we go. Right palm flush down to the mat. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle. Pause for just a moment. Press into the right hand, lengthen, open up once again through the chest. Inhale. And exhale, thread the needle, reach all the way through, settle in through the left shoulder blade. Once you have found that spot, right hand can stay right next to the face. You can reach up and over to the top of the mat. Or if you'd like to, the right hand can come up, opening up the chest and finding back behind. Once again, big deep inhales through the left shoulder blade. Take the time here to fully feel heavy to your mat. Relaxing in the cheeks and through the jaw, through the shoulders and hands. Take one more deep breath. Relax a little bit more if you can. Place the right hand back down in front of the face. Press into the palm of the hand, lengthen out the arm, counter twist through the chest. Bring that arm back down, and let's go into a prone position all the way down. So from here, elbows are going to be underneath our shoulders. All 10 fingers are wide, pressing down into the mat. Pressing the pelvis down, lengthening through the hip flexor, reaching through the crown of the head. If you'd like to take this a little bit deeper, pressing into the arms, straightening them out. Coming back down to Sphinx pose. Surrendering the head all the way down. Left cheek comes to mat. Left hand is going to reach all the way straight behind us or up at a diagonal. Right hand is going to stay by your side. You're going to press into the right hand, lift yourself up onto the left chest, and then that leg is going to come across either straight or bent to give yourself a little bit of a hip opener. So primarily we'll be opening up the chest here. If straight out is not enough, feel free to come out of this and goal post the arm, and then come right back into it. Uncrossing the leg, coming out of the chest, bringing the hand in, switching sides. So right arm comes out at a diagonal or goal post. Press up with the hand onto the chest and let that leg cross back either straight or bent. Head remains nice and rested on the mat. Big deep breaths through the chest. Uncrossing the legs, taking the weight back, down. Hands come back underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift up hands and knees, and into a seated position. From here, we're just gonna do a seated single leg forward fold. So right leg is gonna come in, left leg is gonna stay out. You can point or flex the toes to keep the legs activated. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, look towards the leg and a hinge from the hips. Let the hands frame the leg. So stay right here nice and tall through the spine. Inhale, rise up just a little bit, take off some tension. And then exhale, fold back into it. Maybe even release the head, neck, shoulders. If you have released the head, neck, and shoulders, big deep breaths into the spine as it begins to stretch out just a bit more. And if you have stayed just hinging with a flat back, focusing on your hamstrings and low back, sending the breath to wherever your body is really feeling tension. Walk the hands all the way out, reaching nice and far. And then walk the hands up to bring yourself to an upright seated position, and we will switch sides. Left leg in, right leg out. Inhale the arms up. Look towards that leg. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Keep a nice flat back. Point or flex the toes, whatever feels best for you. Inhale, lift up just a little bit. And then exhale, hinge back down. This time, option to release all the way through head, neck, shoulders. Big deep breath, sending it to wherever your body is feeling the stretch or the tension, ensuring that we're not going so deep that it feels painful, just going to where our body truly feels a nice release and some love. Stretch the arms all the way out in front, reach, and then walk the hands all the way in to lift up. So we'll head onto our backs now. So keeping the legs in front, you can hold onto your hamstrings and slowly release yourself down to the mat. Knees come to chest, hug them in tight, rolling in circles or from side to side to get a nice glute and low back massage. From here, feet are going to come up towards the sky and open up. You're going to bend the knees to the armpits, grab onto the ankles for a happy baby. If you'd like to take this a little bit further, you can grab the outside or inside of the feet, whatever feels best or most accessible for you. Let gravity just do its thing here, opening up the hips. If it feels good to straighten one leg and then the other, do that just at a nice slow pace so you can really feel the benefits of that stretch. One more breath. Bringing the feet back together, knees into the chest. Finally, take it to a nice spinal twist. So legs where they are going to drop over to the right side. Hands are going to come out to a T position, and gaze will come over to the left to complete the twist. If you would like to deepen this, taking that right hand and placing it on top of the knees, let gravity just pull it down. Find your breath moving towards the stomach. With each exhale, releasing a little bit deeper through all parts of the spine, so whether that's the neck, the thoracic, which is the most middle part, or your lower back, your lumbar spine. Head comes back to center. Lift one or both legs up at a time. Reset your hips. And then when you're ready, let the legs drop over to the left. Hands come out to a T. Gaze comes over to the right. Keep the shoulders grounded to the mat as best you can. And then if you'd like, you can go ahead and take the left hand on top of the knees. Put some tension there. Bring the head back to center. Lift one or both knees at a time. Hug them in. Maybe bring the forehead to the knees to kind of tighten up like a nice little ball. And then send the legs out long if you would like to. If you'd like to take this more active, you can bring it into a butterfly so that the feet are together and the knees are hanging out long. So you take your choice, whether active or passive. If you're passive, let the legs hang out in front. Maybe take them to where the edges of the mat are. Hands can be by your side, palms facing up. Or one hand on the stomach, one hand on the chest to be a little bit more connected with the body. Tune into how your body is feeling, how the breath is naturally taking in through its cycle. Your next few breaths, send it to a place in your body that is healing, that needs it the most right now, that's taking a lot of stress. Let your next breath, take a nice big inhale and send it to someone that you care about, someone that might be hurting, send them your loving energy. Feel the sensation of each inhale growing through the stomach, the chest, and the coolness through the mouth and nose. With each exhale, feeling a bit more heavy on the mat. Listening into your surroundings, noticing the little things, letting go of the larger distracting moments. Taking that energy with you throughout the day, just noticing, being present, and letting go. Bring the arms up overhead. Straighten out the legs. Give yourself a nice full body stretch, awakening yourself back into your day. Bend the knees, flip over onto one side, using your bicep as a pillow in a nice fetal position. Take a few more moments of peace, a peace that you created within yourself right here. And when you're ready, using little effort, coming up into a seated position. Eyes can remain closed, they can just become heavy. Walk the hands out to the side, lift them up overhead with a nice big inhale. Exhale, hands come together and down to heart center. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to practice with me, with each other, and for yourself. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much, you guys. Feel free to chat us if you have any questions. Once again, my name is Hannah, and I wish you guys a great rest of your day.